Hey there, it's Tim Holtz, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to my new Halloween collection with free spirit called Regions Beyond. Available in 2021. Let's check it out. It's time to conjure up the spirits and take your imagination to Regions Beyond. Now, I love Halloween time, and this collection is inspired by the classic colors, vintage imagery of Halloween festivities, and it's sure to bring no tricks, just treats. Now, I want to start off with one of my favorite prints, and this was initially launched in Materialize. This is called Apothecary, and I think it really sets the stage for Regions Beyond because of the classic color palette. Here you see the deep black, there's some gray in here, some taupe, and definitely some different shades of orange and rust. And I love the look of this, from the poison labels to the little skull and crossbones. It is a great print, and I'm so happy to bring it back in this collection. Now, Regions Beyond has a whole assortment of different things. This, of course, is mimicked after a vintage chalkboard or a blackboard. You can even see some of the white kind of dusting coming through, all of the different handwritten formulas in there. I just think it's so cool, and this is called Alchemy. I love it. Then to add a little touch of whimsy to the collection, this is simply called Halloween, and you can see it's composed of a lot of different letter blocks and some numbers. Kind of reminds me of candy corn with the palette, with the yellow and orange and black, but this would be really fun to cut out all the different words and use it as applique or just on different projects. I think it just adds a really fun graphic element to the release. And then, of course, Spellbound. Now, we wanted to keep this collection a bit whimsy, but also, well, a bit spooky, if you will. So this is reminiscent of vintage wallpaper, like in a haunted mansion. You can see the different staining that comes down, but also the scale of this damask. And you can see that it fades in and out. It just adds such a great effect to this entire collection. And the color, just a rich, rich orange. Now, one of my favorites, of course, this is called Beloved. And you can see that this one, of course, is pretty much a foundation of ledger pages. I use this a lot in some of my designs because I think having those lines in the back with that faded script really provides a great backdrop for a lot of graphic elements. And in this case, it's this bold black floral. It definitely has kind of a cemetery vibe to it, but I just think it has such a nostalgic element to it as well. Now, of course, what Halloween collection would be complete without a little bit of cobwebs? So cobwebs, you can see very, very detailed. They're kind of intertwined and tangled in there. Great to cut up, provides a wonderful neutral to this collection. And you can see it still has some different staining and fading in the print, the way that Eclectic Elements is designed to be. Now, of course, crossbones. You can see that this has such a great bold repeat with the little skull and crossbones. But in the background of these, there is a slight crackle effect. And I'll bring this a little closer. Hopefully we can pick that up. But you can see that slight crackle in the background just really provides a great design element when you cut this up or when you use it in conjunction with other pieces from Regions Beyond. I love that little effect. Now, of course, you might look at this and you're like, what, a plaid? But this isn't your ordinary plaid. This is Eclectic Elements after all. So this is called Foreboding, and you can see that it definitely has a very worn, faded look. Love the colors of this because it does shift from black and orange, but also into some deep taupe, almost a little bit of a mossy green. I love this one. It has such a great worn look to it. Then, of course, have to keep a touch of whimsy. So this is Hocus Pocus, and you can see it's got some very bold, big, giant polka dots on there. But in the background, you'll see some different kind of worn elements. This is a tile pattern that I've just kind of faded away just to bring out nice, bold effect in these polka dots. Now, another one of my favorites. I love this. This is called Masquerade. And this is actually from a vintage Halloween party catalog. You can see the different noisemakers and home decor for Halloween time. Definitely a sense of nostalgia. And I love, of course, all the different graphics and also the little prints. It even has little prices in there from the decorations. Such a great and very unique fabric. Now, speaking of unique, this is called Peculiar because what Halloween would be complete without a little bit of Harlequin? But this one is quite peculiar. It's very skinny, but it also has these little dots on the top and bottom. And this diamond pattern, so great for so many different accents on your Halloween projects and quilts. You can take a look at that. Look at the detail in that, all the way down to those little dots at the end. Then we have the Undertaker. So, of course, this one, again, I collect vintage ephemera for years, and I like to incorporate that in my designs. So this actually came out of an old telephone book from Salem, Massachusetts, believe it or not. So you'll see a lot of the addresses are from Salem, Mass. And I think it's so cool to have the undertaker and the druggist and the florist and all sorts of different elements that create quite a spooktacular fabric, if I do say so myself. And then, of course, Wicked. We're going to finish this collection with another plaid, but of course you can see that the colors of this so vivid, so intense, but complements the rest of Regions Beyond so well. So I hope you enjoy this collection for your Halloween time, and